Welcome to the Everything Podcast, and in today's first of two episodes, I will be discussing the First Doctor Unbound Knights of the Round TARDIS announcement, which was announced, as you would gather, on the 30th of May 2025, and I am recording this episode about a week later on the 5th of June 2025. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So, the First Doctor Unbound Knights of the Round TARDIS will release in September 2025, and obviously I'll be recapping it. It stars David Bradley as the First Doctor, Claudia Grant as Susan, Jamie Glover as Ian, and Gemma Powell as Bob. And if those names are familiar to you, that is because prior to Stephen Noonan and Lauren Cornelius taking over the First Doctor Adventures, they were, for the first 5 box sets, I think it was, were kind of the main TARDIS team, and obviously they kind of decided to do it differently. But what is interesting, actually, and when I was reading, I was like, why? The First Doctor Unbound Knights of the Round TARDIS is the first release in a trilogy of future-length audio dramas. Later on, in a little bit, I'll be discussing when the other two were released. And I'm like, is something happening later on down the line why it's limited to 3? Like, this doesn't tend to happen with Big Finish. They don't say, it's a limited run and we're only doing this. Actually, the exception to that rule really is like the 11th Doctor Chronicles. But that was because Jacob Dudman, who played the 11th Doctor, was leaving Big Finish because he wanted to be an actor and do other things, which is fair enough. But it kind of, there isn't a reason given for it. So it's one of those things. But there's a slight tangent. Where was I up to? Oh yes, the First Doctor Unbound Knights of the Round TARDIS takes place in 13th century Oxford. King Henry III will also feature in the First Doctor Unbound Knights of the Round TARDIS. The First Doctor Unbound Knights of the Round TARDIS synopsis is as follows. The Doctor, his companions and the new allies must work together to stop this mysterious monk from meddling in time. But is it already too late? Is history already diverging in a new direction? 13th century Oxford, courtly love, jousting knights, and a golden age of academia. What a treat for the Doctor and his companions. A chance to meet precursor of English democracy, Simon de Montfort, as well as scientist, visionary, and Franciscanian Friar Roger Bacon. Big Finish in their presses could have chosen easier words. A man truly ahead of his time. Truly ahead of his time. If the TARDIS team can't stop him, this time meddling wolf in monk's clothing will alter the course of Earth's history. The First Doctor Unbound 2 will release in March 2026. If that date sounds familiar, where the First Doctor is confusing, this is also something that I'm slightly confused by, is unless they're going to link them somehow, is that the First Doctor Adventures 2026 release also releases in March 2026, and the First Doctor Unbound 3, which is the final First Doctor Unbound release as far as we're aware, will release in May 2027. And that is me discussing the announcement of the First Doctor Unbound Knights of the Round TARDIS. Now, what can you expect from today's second episode? This afternoon, I will be recapping Blankety Blank Season 4, Episode 5. But back to this episode. Oh, no, before that, here's the trailer for Blankety Blank Season 4.
Blankety Blank is back. Celebs, think like Gene.
So we've all given up trying to imagine what Gene is thinking.
I wish you luck with that. Did you get these contestants at closing time at a pub?
That was the trailer for Blankety Blank Season 4, because as I just mentioned, later on today, in the second episode of the day, I'll be recapping Blankety Blank Season 4, Episode 5. For back to this episode, let me know what you thought about the announcement of the First Doctor Unbound Knights of the Round TARDIS. If not, put your thoughts in the comments below. As well as anything else you want to cover the channel, such as any previews or recaps, put those in the comments below as well. Remember, you can also like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you later on for my recap of Blankety Blank Season 4, Episode 5. See you then. Goodbye.